Hey guys, Andrew with Defiant Tactical, and we just had some good news come through from the Supreme Court. They issued a ruling on the Cargill case, which was a challenge to the ATF's bump stock ruling, and they overturned the bump stock ruling. So I imagine most people that are watching this probably are at least somewhat familiar with what had been going on, but after the Las Vegas shooting some years ago, the ATF abruptly decided to classify bump stocks as machine guns, okay? And they had previously, for multiple years and across multiple presidential administrations, never done that. They had, on multiple occasions, had evaluated them and said, yeah, this doesn't make the firearm a machine gun, right? By the NFA. And then after the shooting, suddenly they decided to change their mind, right? There wasn't any change in the design of a bump stock. They just decided to change their mind. So a guy named, I think, Michael Cargill, he surrendered his bump stocks under protest, and it worked its way through the court system. And of course, today on June 14th, the Supreme Court issued its ruling. So it was, well, first of all, it's an example of why it's so important to have a good Supreme Court that is Second Amendment friendly. And secondly, the text of the ruling is interesting. I would encourage you to go read it, at least the syllabus. It's only a couple pages long. The whole ruling is like 42 pages. You don't have to read the whole thing, but at least the syllabus. And basically, their reasoning is interesting, and I think will have ramifications on the force reset trigger case that is percolating through the legal system, as well as the the brace case that has been working its way through the system as well. So what happened, I guess some of the key points that makes me say that is that the decision to consider their decision was as much a rebuke of the ATF's overreach as an executive agency as it was about the Second Amendment directly. Okay, so one of the main points that they made is that, again, I'm paraphrasing, the ATF overstretched the congressional definition of machine gun. They just went a bridge too far, right? So the NFA defines a machine gun as a firearm or device, again paraphrasing, that can shoot or can readily be converted to shoot more than one round with a single function of the trigger. All right. So the first thing that SCOTUS said was, well, a bump stock doesn't make something do that, right? And so you've exceeded your statutory authority to try and redefine what this is. Then they went on, and the next reason was that bump stock does not convert a firearm to fire more than one round with a single function of the trigger. And in that reasoning, they explained that a single function of the trigger is not dependent on user input. It's focused on the mechanism itself. And that's important because that is a large part of the argument surrounding forced reset triggers. If you're familiar with the rare breed forced reset trigger, that, like I mentioned earlier, is going through the legal system. The ATF argued that makes the firearm into a machine gun. But the defense is that it doesn't, because it still causes the trigger to reset. There's just a mechanical mechanism that forces it to reset and make it easier to fire the next round. There is still a mechanical reset, and so that determination is going to have a ramification for the forced reset trigger. And so anyway, definitely go take a look at it. I'm glad to hear that. I don't personally own any bump stocks. Maybe it's time to go buy some. I don't have a whole lot of interest in them. I do think forced reset triggers are interesting, and would like to explore those a little bit more. I'm one of those people that's kind of conservative with regards to what I'll purchase and own, just because I don't want to, for lack of a better, for good or for bad, I don't want to be the guinea pig. Okay, I've got a lot at stake. I've got kids, I've got a family, I've got investments and that sort of stuff, and I don't want to be the guinea pig. So yeah, it's good news, and so it's a cause for celebration. So look forward to getting some of those bump stocks out, and I'm sure we're going to see videos here of bump stocks that miraculously, reappear in people's possession, and ripping off some rounds. Maybe celebrate 4th of July that way. All right. Anyway, it's Andrew, Defiant Tactical Accessories. I'm going to get back to my yard work. I'm a mess right now, so we'll see you guys in another one.